Fill her up.
You're listening to the GaS Digital Network.
Not you too. I just spent all day with Josh out of Myers.
What they gonna do when the strawberry scrap?
So
He really does do that all the time.
Squiggly dough. Jelly roll.
So last week when you were here, you had just recorded That's Hot.
Uh-huh.
And you had some kind of wine,
Yeah, I was a little buzzed, yeah.
but the top of the wine was left here, and
Right.
during a recording I was playing with it,
Okay.
and I put it on the side of this microphone,
And it's still there?
still there.
It's pretty good. You can't see it here. Pull it off.
Yeah,
Pull it off.
but they have to see that it's wrapped around the Juan.
Okay, well, I'm not getting back out there to move the cameras.
Okay.
So maybe at the end they'll be able to see it.
Man, men are so unserious.
Men are so... Mike texted me that today. I gotta show you what...
Men are unserious.
It was a very Jorge-esque bit that Mike was doing. Because I asked him if he can get here early. You know, we usually do 7:30. I asked if he could do 5:30 or 6. And he said, I can do between 3:38 and 3:39. Ugh, men are so unserious. Probably like 6. And then at 5:45, he goes, tell me why this man's is 45 minutes late. Girl, I am holding no space for him. He can sleep on the couch. I don't care if he thinks he's blind. Plus, I saw on TikTok being blind is a red flag.
It is. I'm sending this to my
And I go, Jorge-ass bit, crying, laughing face.
I'm sending this to my all-female friends group chat and the all-female friends group chat minus the one that references that they're all slutty.
Uh-huh.
Just like how the male equivalent of that is being like, Glizzy Gang group chat. Bleh.
I don't know what that means.
It's like, so it's a projection thing where like women have like the, oh, we're slutty group chat, and then the men have like, aha, oh, we're so gay group chat.
Right,
like
right,
that's
right.
always the, but secretly they're both sluts and they're both gay deep down, and that's why I don't do that. I have the construction workers group chat.
Who do you
'Cause
know
I would
that's
never,
construction
I
workers?
would never do a blue collar.
That's true. I don't know who you would know that's a blue collar group chat. Or you're kept out of the blue collar group chat.
It's me and the fellas.
Who are the fellas? AJ, my cousin? Dock worker?
The fellas.
How many fellas are in this group
The
chat?
good fellas.
The good fellas? How many fellas is it?
He's got the whole world.
Oh, no.
In his hand. He's got the whole world.
I've had too much coffee today. This is the opposite energy.
In his hand, he's got the whole world.
Mike's
in
at
his
church
hand.
now, I think. Last week I was a little buzzed. I was drinking some champagne. I was relaxed. I was giggly. This week I am extremely caffeinated. This is my second coffee of the hour and my third caffeine of the day. And that may sound like rookie numbers to some of you. But this is a lot for me. So I need to pod. I need to get these thoughts out of me.
Question.
Yes.
Do you think what year does it start to be that people in old folks' homes start to have group chats?
That's a great question. I think it's soon. Because old folks, my grandma just created a group chat with me and my brother saying, hey, miss you. I don't talk to you enough. Mm-hmm. Which reflects poorly on me because I should talk to my grandmother more. But I do talk to her. But I should visit her more.
Girl.
I think we're on the cusp. of it. I think within the next 10 years, there'll be old folks in the group chat. Folks in the old homes with the group chats.
Because my grandmother, who you met her over the weekend, we can talk about that in a second. But she's seems fairly young, right?
Yeah, fairly spry.
Well,
sharp.
She sends texts like she's 90.
So do my grandmothers. They both do that.
But she's young.
Yeah, so are mine. How old is your grandmother?
Like in her 70s.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But still, she's like, you know, we have a family group chat, and she'll like.
No
it
offense.
just won't make sense.
No offense, but your parents also seem old for their age.
Oh,
Like, they don't.
Dad is 80 and has a newborn.
That's extremely young behavior. To have a newborn, that's young behavior. Your parents radiate their, like, retirement energy,
Let's
I
just
think.
get into it.
Okay, yeah. Welcome to Gas Digital Now, the Gas Digital wrap-up show. We tell you everything that you missed on Gas Digital this week. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to gasdigital.com and use code NOW.
That means right now.
For a discount on your membership. If you're watching this on gasdigital.com, please go to Gas Digital Now on YouTube and subscribe.
Give us the bump. The skeptic tank bump.
Oh, also, I feel like I should get this out of the way early. Yes, we're back. For the past 4 episodes, everyone's been like, I thought this show ended. This show did not end. This show was brought back as a network show. That means we have a page on the website and a YouTube channel and a, wherever you get your audio-only podcast, we exist there too. Follow us there.
You can't get rid of us.
You can't get rid of us. So if you're like, oh, I thought they ended this, they didn't. They brought us back full force. Wednesdays at 3 p.m.
You're gonna have to pay us to leave. Just kidding.
Wednesdays at 3 p.m. after Zach Amico's Morning Zoo.
Woo! We're gonna get into that too.
Yeah, we gotta get into some farewells. One permanent-ish, one temporary. There's a lot of news this week. Alex and Harrington got married. I don't know if you guys heard that. There's a lot going on. There's a big lie detector event on Skanks this week.
There's a lot on Skanks this week.
A lot on Skanks this week.
It was a wedding spectacular.
It was also a real wedding.
I'll say this.
That we went to.
The theme of this episode is that love is in the air.
Love is in the air. That's nice. It's spring. It's spring, everybody. And this guy was bamboozled up until the final moments.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. And what else? Dark holes.
Yeah, we were talking on Dark Holes. If we need, Jorge was on Madhouse this week on the exclusive episode, and I can't resist a moment to embarrass Jorge a little bit, so we're gonna get into that. And if we got time for it, Dark Holes, Che has been on the road. He's been doing solo roadcasts, and he was talking about was it Lily Phillips who just did the giant gangbang? Can't
stop talking about Lily Phillips.
He loves her. He loves her. It's crazy. And basically how she's like the good energy, the good-natured spirit in the sex worker community. She's fucking for good, for positive change.
For the vibes?
No, for positive change in the world. And I think that was an interesting conversation that we
Pussy
can get into.
Teresa.
Yeah, that's a good one. I wish that could be the title. But we do go on YouTube, so we might have to change that. All today on Gas Digital Now. Today is April 3rd. Just so you have a context, the episode comes out
or
a couple days later.
If Katie Boyle or Colum Turrell were saying it.
Turd.
April 3rd.
Yep. It's funny, on I want to say the regs recently, they were talking about how close Jamaican and Irish accents are, and Lewis didn't buy it. And I was like, what do you, they're so similar. You just like lean into it a little bit differently, but they both say turd and tree. And I like that a lot about
Irish
both of them.
Irish people are the Jamaicans of whites.
You want to elaborate on that?
No.
No?
Leave it up. Sometimes art has to be about the interpretation.
Sure. All right, we're going to probably get into Skanks last because we have the most meat to dig into there. I have not seen it. Mike was watching it just now to gather some questions for it, and I had unending FOMO that I was not there. I was spectacularly jealous listening to all the fun that all my friends were having without me. And it hurt. But before we get into that,
and we have a few. I have some
studio lore
secrets, or not secrets, but just like little surprise info drops about that night that you don't even know about.
Ooh,
that happened.
Is it gonna make my feelings more or less?
Probably more.
Damn, that sucks. I was at Story Wars this week. It was not the episode that came out this week, but it was fun to be there because we went to Drip, or I went to Drip. You missed most of it.
I missed. I did not. I only missed Big J because he was the first
He wasn't
one up.
there.
Oh.
He wasn't there.
Oh.
He wasn't there at all.
Oh.
No, you. Stop doing that voice. I don't like it.
Oh.
Oh, you missed like 4 people.
Who'd I miss?
It was a couple, 2 guys that I had never heard of, who I enjoyed. It was the host and then that guy that I was talking to after. 2 people that I don't remember. Were you there for Andy?
Yeah.
Haynes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who else was on the flyer?
It was the Norwegian guy, Rob
Right.
Cruz,
Right.
Drew Munt. No.
Yeah, Drew and I deleted Instagram from my phone again. You missed at least the first 3 people and then the last person.
I don't care about the last person.
Oh, I liked her a lot. I thought she was really funny.
He's got the whole world in his
No one cares.
hands.
That being said, I was at Story Wars, which was weirdly empty, and I won't talk about it because it's not out yet. But when it comes out, we'll talk about it.
Ooh. Tea.
All right, so let's start with this weekend.
You met my family.
I did. Mike brought me to his.
Family.
Do you not call her your aunt?
Who?
The woman who's having a baby?
Aunt Caroline.
So she is your aunt. You call her your aunt. She is your aunt, but
Yeah,
legally.
she's fresh.
She's a fresh
So
aunt.
it's hard to say.
Because I
aunt.
kept being like, I was telling people about it, and I was like, we went to this baby shower for Mike's uncle. I was like, oh, I also remember that you missed Mike Vecchione, too.
I was there for him.
You caught the second half, maybe?
I was there. No, I was there for him. He the guy fell off the chair.
Oh, yes. All right, whatever. Anyway, that thing that I just did reminded me of Vecchione. So, yeah, you keep going, oh, we're having a baby shower for my uncle. It was my uncle's baby shower. We're meeting my uncle. We're at my uncle's in town.
Yeah.
And then you're like, it's like, oh, he's not having a baby. He was complicit, but it's not his birth. He's not giving birth. So I didn't know if you were like, no, that's my uncle's wife. I don't fuck with her like that.
That's not true.
But yes, we went to Philadelphia. Just kidding. We went to Pennsylvania.
I don't know why women always dig holes that don't need to be dug, and now I'm gonna have to explain myself to my mom for something that doesn't. Women make things out of.
Forgot your mom listens to the
crazy.
show. I forgot your mom listens to the show. We can cut that out.
That's the worst part. There's not even anything to cut out. It's not. You just threw shade that doesn't exist, but somehow I don't know what happened there. I don't understand women.
Oh my god! I just noticed this. I wasn't sure. I was asking some clarifying questions.
I love all my family members, new and old.
You want to talk about the trip, the event?
Yeah, it was an unofficial shower because in the Jewish missions and values, the Jewish company missions and values, you're not supposed to celebrate because it's bad luck. I
agree. As soon as I heard that, I went, I would also not want gifts for my baby until it's out, until it pops out, because it could always go sour until then, more or less.
I mean, how great would it be to have a Sour Patch Kid, though?
Get out. Get out. It's a good thing you're not a stand-up just yet, because that one stinks.
Stand up to violence.
Yeah, so tell us about your family.
So,
Unless you want me to take this one.
my aunt and uncle. Here's the thing: you gotta be baked into the aunt thing a little bit, just because it's so new that now I'm an adult and I'm like, this is just a person.
Hey, I feel the same way about my stepmom, who is not my stepmom. I just started after they got
call her
married.
Allison.
Do you call her aunt? Do you say aunt to her face? Do you think that people with step parents go, "Hey, stepmom"?
Whoa, step bro.
Exactly. Do you
What
think
are
that's
doing,
real life?
step bro?
Do you think that's real life?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not.
There's a bus that bangs and
So yes, obviously, I get it.
Brazzers.
I get the point that when someone's introduced to your family as an adult, you don't see them as that figure to you. My mom's getting married. My mom's engaged. That's now gonna be my stepdad. But neither my stepdad or my stepmom. I mean, they're more like aunt and uncle figures to me. They're close to me, but they they didn't parent me really, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
Maybe she's
I
my
get it.
auntie. She could be my auntie.
You gonna start calling her that?
Yeah.
Get into it.
I pitched this to Natalie. Because she told me beforehand my entire March is booked. But
it was.
Then, as it got closer to the date and details of this event were being arranged, I'm like, it would be really nice if Natalie could join.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be the perfect opportunity for her to just meet all my family in one shot because it seemed like all the close ones were going to be there.
Yes.
So...
You're resisting the urge to do this.
So my pitch to her was, what if I told you have an all-inclusive indoor pool day with a jacuzzi? The only hitch is that you have to go to the city of Philadelphia.
He did say that.
You have to drive to Philly.
And I go, what do you think I am? That if you had just said, hey, it would be really important for you to be there if you can swing it. Can you make it?
Well, sometimes
that you had to
dog
bribe
sit.
me.
Sometimes you have to dog sit.
Yeah, either way, you would go, hey, can you come to this? Not here. I'm gonna trick you. Here's the pill wrapped in cheese to feed to the dog.
Yes,
you didn't have to do that at all. I'm a grown up.
I'm giving you a timeshare, a literal sharing of time. But I have to make you sit for 8 hours with my family to be able to enjoy a pool.
It really was like 8 hours, huh? That's not true. It was a little shorter, but it was a long day. It was, it was a great pool, and it's like just a regular house. Like you hear someone that has an enormous in-ground pool, and you have an idea.
Compound.
Yeah, exactly. You have an idea of what it looks like. I'm like, oh, this is just a regular nice house.
Yeah, he lives in a development.
Yeah, a cul-de-sac. At the end of a cul-de-sac.
What'd you call my sack?
Fuck you.
my balls is hot.
The pool was really nice. We threw water balloons at each other.
Yeah, so we were throwing balloons, and it felt like a reverse hazing.
It did feel like a reverse hazing.
Where, like, instead of, like, because my brother also brought his girlfriend, and this is, like, the first time, not the first time, like, my Aunt Caroline has been around us before, but, like...
This is her being like, here, you're in the family. So there were 3 women there who are not familiar with the situation.
And, yes, very much so. And they were all the ones who didn't participate, except for Natalie was a G.
I swam. I can't resist a pool.
But my uncle he bought this whole water balloon kit and was just filling up
400 water balloons.
It had to be at least over 100 water balloons.
Yeah.
And we were just filling them up and just throwing them at each other.
But water balloons are meant to be in a yard where they're the only source of water.
Yeah.
You hit them on, it's a hot day, everyone's outside, and you're dry. And by the end of it, you're wet. You know?
You're wet.
You throw them at someone, it explodes, now you're wet, right? In a pool, there's no leverage and also almost nothing for them to break on. So it was just water balloons landing in water, not breaking. Loose balloons floating everywhere.
That made it so much more fun.
It was pretty funny to just find a balloon next to you. Yeah.
It added such a silly element to it because you're already in water.
I was trying to get your brother so bad, and he was just catching everyone that I was sending his way. It was infuriating.
You targeted the one non-blind. You have to go for the other 3.
Yeah, I also liked what your mom said when your brother accidentally hit her with a balloon. She's like, I thought you used to play baseball. You used to be a lot better at it.
Oh, yeah. She also threw out the classic, I have a brain tumor.
Yeah. That part wasn't that funny. It was the thing that I said was the good zinger, I would say.
Yeah. What did she say?
He said, sorry, I didn't aim correctly or something, or you were in the way. And she's like, I thought you used to play baseball. Your aim used to be a lot better or something like that.
Yeah, got his whole ass.
But it was fun. It was nice. We spent a lot of time in the pool. I spent a lot of time in the hot tub. It was great.
The hot tub, right?
It was great. We went to Whole
It's a
Foods
big
before,
hot
and I
tub.
brought some desserts to share with everybody.
I loved them. The one complaint I will have before we move on
Sure.
is most of the conversation for 90% of the day was just around travel stories. I'm like, can we fucking talk about anything else?
Yeah, but you're
Jesus
the king of
Christ.
getting people to talk about themselves. I'm surprised you didn't have any curveballs up your sleeve.
Because it's not about me, so I'm just not going to pipe up. I'm going to let the conversation
No,
go
I
where it
just meant you're
goes.
great at asking people leading questions. It's
And I
something
did.
you're known for. Lead them somewhere else.
When it was a more one-on-one question, I did. And I did throw in a couple of
That's true.
times, a couple of dog questions and stuff.
Right.
But
It
would
did keep
then
coming back to travel.
They would be like, and then in Montreal, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm going to kill all. You sound like a podcast on the GaS Digital Network right now, talking about flying.
Comedy, yeah.
Is this the Friday night hang?
Oof. Got their whole ass. Goddamn, it's funny if you want
They
to.
start talking about bookers. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, if you want to quickly touch on it, Jorge was on the exclusive episode of Madhouse this week, and I was asking him what they talked about before ending up watching the episode myself. And he was like, "Oh, they got back to comedy like they always do." And there was a point where I was listening to it, I was like, "Ugh." Not at them specifically, just at podcasts in general. It's like, please stop talking about the industry, please. However, Jorge talked about pegging, how he can't. It's too late for him to get pegged. We got a little bit of like open Jorge, a little bit open book Jorge.
I regret never getting pegged at this point.
Okay, well, don't say never.
No, my current lady would never.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she seems, herpy-derpy.
She has hard limits.
Understood. You floated it? Did you float it?
Yeah, many things were floated early on, and then it was okay. Check that off. Never mind. Damn it.
You had threesome? You floated a threesome?
I'm not a fan of threesomes.
Okay, word.
Yeah,
Word.
that was not it for me. I was like, because for me, everything sexual has to be like a bit, and like I have to like sort of disassociate.
Okay.
And so then every time I would do something with multiple people, like it was hard for me to sort of disassociate and like
There's too much going on.
because like I'm overstimulated just from being in the situation, and I'm like, nah.
Right.
So I will. I hope he watches this because my question in response to that would be, what if it was a pirate peg? Like if it's
Like a peg leg?
if it's attached to a leg, does that change things?
Jorge, you can say in the chat if it changes things. Would it change it for you?
Just think about how much more leverage there is with that knee.
Right.
The knee is right there to help control things a little bit easier than just your hips.
Right. Completely.
You know what I mean? You can really get in there with a damn knee.
Yeah, it would be a lot easier if I could just bend my leg like this. I agree.
Yeah, you're just like kicking a soccer ball, but
Yeah.
the prostate.
Yes, exactly. They also had the worst take on spring imaginable. How do you feel about spring? Yay or nay?
Well,
Please don't make a joke. Unless it's good. So don't make it at all.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Here's the thing about spring is that
Bars.
everything is blooming.
Uh-huh.
And blooming is not always pretty.
I agree.
There's
with
a
that.
little bit of ugliness.
That's the first
bloom.
take about it. They did not say that at all. That's
It's a
the
little
first good
dirty.
take.
Like you think about like the manure. I remember every time it would be
Wet dirt.
spring. Every time it would be spring, I used to live behind like an actual like farmer's field, and every spring there would be the 3-day span where the farmer just laid down the manure and it would stink.
Yeah.
And then we have the fucking cum tree outside.
Yeah, the cum trees.
that happens every spring. And there's just something,
That's regional. I don't think they have that other parts of the country.
whatever it is, spring might be the worst smelling season.
I agree. However, it is my favorite season, regardless. It's my favorite season. And they were like, no, it's not warm enough.
Spring's my least favorite season.
Yeah, I'm not a fan
Yeah.
either.
Because fall, you're like, ooh, I like it brisk. Spring, I'm like, just bring on 75 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Waiting to sit in the park and not be too cold.
Yeah, I don't like being like chilly. I don't like when it's hot in the day and then cold after 4 p.m. I need full day. I need to wake up. When you wake up and it's already 75, let's fucking go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Walking out of your house in a t-shirt.
You wake up a little sweaty,
Yeah.
but not too much. Like enough to where you can warrant a good shower.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Ooh, good shower on a summer day. You're not frigid when you get out of the shower.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
being productive during the morning.
Yes.
Coming back, taking a shower, and then going out for the rest of the
Love
night.
it. Love it.
Fresh to death.
Walking around with like an iced matcha. Fuck me in the asshole. It makes me want to like exercise more because I'm like, I'm a hot exercise girl. It's summer.
And Jorge goes, and this is the worst take on the planet. He goes, they were talking about how much they love summer. And he goes, I love even when you wake up in the morning and you're a little bit sweaty. Yeah. And I go, what an ass take to have. I am at
Jorge's
my most miserable.
Jorge's on Percocets, apparently.
I am at my most miserable when my default state is a little sweaty.
Your default programmer?
She was not on this one. She's not on Madhouse anymore.
That was a good
That
show.
was a good one. I liked that one. That was good. We liked that one. No, spring is good. I do not need to wake up and have it already be 80 degrees. That is a fucking nightmare. And I could never live in a place that at 9 in the morning it's already 75 degrees out. I could not do it.
He's from LA.
Natty's not, and neither is Caroline, as far as I know. Too many Carolines in this episode.
And Carolyn.
And Carolyn, yeah, exactly.
My brother's girlfriend.
Yes. No, bad takes. Terrible takes. Spring is, I'll even give you that you can think whatever season is the best season. It's subjective. I love spring, but saying that you like it to already be sweaty hot out as soon as you wake up is so bad. I can't even argue with it. I will give you that it's wet in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's muddy. And especially if you have allergies, it's rough.
Yeah, it's sticky.
Yeah, it's sticky.
I forgot about allergies.
I don't have allergies, so I mean, I guess just like be built better like me. I don't know.
Yeah, but every white person has allergies.
So I'm not white now, or am I not a person?
Both.
Cool.
White people aren't person.
Very good. Yeah, they talked about something. Oh yeah, pegging. Jorge said that he wished he got pegged previously when he had many opportunities, and now his chick is not into that. And
why does he want that? What
he
a
doesn't.
psycho.
He doesn't. He just said it would have been funny
It's not funny.
previously.
Man. That's not funny.
Maybe I'm misquoting him, but he said, I think it was more of just like a to say that I did situation. It's as
Bro,
if
you don't need to say that.
it's as if this
There's no
situation would be better if
conversation where-
Jorge was here.
There's no conversation in which that addition
I'm certainly misquoting
benefits
him.
the conversation. That's actually like they were talking about this on the regs
Okay.
this week that just came out. Joe List and Dan Soder went to Vecchione's wedding, and Big J did too,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's not on the regs.
Right.
But they were at a table.
It's almost like all your friends are hanging out without
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Famous Regs quote.
And they were at a table with like just some it was all comics and then one couple that weren't comics.
Oh.
And they were Joe List, while they're in the middle of the main course, starts talking about how
No. No.
for some reason he thought this would be a good addition. Story would be a good addition to the conversation that there's a famous conversation from Legion of Skanks, which already isn't
Already failed. You failed at being a
never
person.
reference Legion of Skanks
No.
bits
No, you have
at a
to.
wedding conversation.
Before you even get into it, you have to explain what the name means.
But no, he was just gonna say, well, my friend
Sure. Was
Justin
talking.
Silver famously likes to eat his own cum off of women.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's very fun, and also checks out for Justin majorly.
Or like eat it out of them or something like that.
Ugh,
And
shuddered.
and Soder and Katie both went like, know.
No,
'cause
that's
they
fucking
knew what he was
stupid.
about to say.
No,
And
that's
then-
what the fuck is wrong with you, Joe? Joe, I thought you were the normal one. Of the regs, I would put you at the bottom of a list of people that would bring up eating cum at a wedding. And it would go Lewis, Dan, Bobby, Joe. That's the order that I would think would
I
bring
would
that
say
up.
Lewis, Bobby, Dan.
Bobby seems like he keeps up appearances.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
You know, Bobby is also like, I don't know, seems more maybe not, I don't know.
Oh, speaking of which, so a friend of the family came over to my family function who reminds me so much
yes.
of Rich Voss.
He was great.
Right?
That guy was great. I wish he stayed longer.
His name is Phil. He likes to golf.
That doesn't
What's
narrow
more-
it down. Oh, more Rich Voss.
Yeah,
That's funny.
And
Yeah,
because he's not part of the family. He has the heaviest Philly accent
Yes,
of anyone.
he does.
Did you enjoy
I
that Philly
did.
accent?
I enjoyed it very much.
Was that your first experience with
No.
it in like a real, genuine setting?
No, I don't think so. Because, I don't know, being in Jersey and being in, I'm not from South Jersey, but I've been to South Jersey. Like, it's kind of like, it flows over,
Sure, but I mean,
I enjoyed it very much. I like a Philly accent sometimes. Especially when you do it out of the blue, it makes me laugh.
but it's not. Mine is so much worse, and his just natural.
They were, yes, they were.
Let's get back to it.
Yes,
But yeah, so Joe
pegging?
stopped.
Oh,
Joe stopped talking about it before he got to the thing, and then the couple was like, come on, like you can't stop now, you gotta keep going, and he's like,
okay,
and at that point, my thing would have been like, I'm like, just switch stories.
yeah, I
You
would.
didn't actually elaborate any. Just go to a different, like, be like, oh, actually, it was this, and that's why I was stopping. It's not actually that interesting of a story. Like, you didn't actually
You
have
can
to.
lie. You can lie. Were they disgusted and horrified?
Yes.
Amazing,
To the point
incredible.
where the wife left the table and then didn't come back to the table for the rest of the evening.
Oh my god!
I mean, she was still at the wedding, but just didn't.
No, that doesn't make it better at all. No, that's hilarious. That's so fucking funny and incredible. But yeah,
Pegging.
yeah, pegging. We've already talked about pegging on this show before. I'm not married. People think that I'm married to it. I'm not. It's just a thing I did with my ex because we were both into it at the time.
Well, you were almost married to that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a marriage joke.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're right. Oh. I said I'm not married to it. Hilarious. Yeah. Sorry. Short attention span. Yeah, I'm not missing it. Let's put it that way. It's a lot of work. If the dick is not attached to your whole, is not part of your body, it's a
Like
lot
a
less
leg.
fun. Yeah, but you wouldn't feel it in your leg.
If there's the only time I would ever get pegged is if there was a pirate that wanted to do it. It can't be like, oh, it's a fake peg leg where the leg is actually there. It has to be a real deal. You lost your leg, and
This
you
is
have
like-
a wooden peg.
There's definitely some sort of porn movie where there's a pirate who instead of having a peg leg as a peg has a dildo.
But that's the only time I would do it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm not pushing it either. It's funny that Jorge was like, yeah, I would have done it previously. I've missed the window has shut. That's what he said. Not in those words, but he was like, yeah, the opportunity is gone because my chick is not into that. Whatevs. Oh, I also did it to a chick who, not my ex, and it was less fun. Again, if it's not part of your body, there's like an incentive to do it if it's your dick that's part of you. There's a physical reason to keep going, whereas if it's just attached to you, it's a lot of work and no payoff.
You have like a LAZ reference. You have alien hand syndrome.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite things from that episode.
Yeah. You want to get into that? That's all I had on Madhouse. Was pegging and bad takes about spring.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So, R.I.P. R.A.P.
Ayo.
R.I.P. L.A.Z. Dangerous. Sad. I mean, you can
Spooky.
feel about it.
Spooky, scary, hilarious.
I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know if you've heard. I don't know if it's made its way over here yet. Wednesday. I don't know if you were in a coma for the past week and this is your first time logging back into gasdigital.com. LAZ has ended. What was rap became LAZ.
Pour
has
one
ended.
out.
Pour one out. Yeah, pour one out.
You thought I was going to do it, didn't you?
No, you're not that stupid. Yeah, Lewis is leaving. Lewis is leaving LAZ. Alliteration.
Leaving is Louis Laz.
I'll let him say here what his reasoning.
This Friday will be the very last Lewis and Zach show. Me and Zach hate each other. No, we don't. We can't do it anymore. We're like Opie and Anthony. No, I'm stepping aside, and Zach will be taking over this time slot with Zach Amico's Morning Zoo.
Let's go!
That's
Come
gonna be
on!
a blast.
Change the energy. I don't like somber. I think this is a big deal. Zach stepping into the spotlight.
It is a big deal, and I'm happy for Zach, but I'm sad to stop broadcasting with Zach. That's the truth. It's kind of continuing the spirit of the show, which is to put on young, great, hilarious comics and podcasters, introduce them into the GaS digital world. And Zach, every time I'm out of town, fucking crushes it by himself on this show. And I'm very happy for Zach, but it is bittersweet because obviously, not being able to hang out with Zach 3 days a week and Shannon 3 days a week, it makes me sad. But the truth is, I've gotten busier than I've ever been in my entire life.
These are the perils of success.
Yeah, look, more than anything else, my son, dude, I'm struggling to find time to spend with my son, which is the number one reason why I have to do this. I work almost every day. I'm in and out of the city multiple times. Mondays and Wednesdays, I drive back and forth to the city twice. The reason I drive home even is just so I can spend a little bit of time with my son in the afternoon, then come back into the city to do another podcast, do stand-up shows. There's so much going on that it's starting to be very stressful. My life is very stressful. I have no time to, just be alone with my thoughts. So when it comes down to it, I had to make some room in my schedule, and the Lewis and Zach show is the one show that takes up the absolute most time.
Yeah, I found out in the Regs group chat, and I sent it to you guys.
No, I don't actually. No, that's not true. I'm not.
What?
I'm not fucking Josh Goldberg.
What does that mean?
I'm not Josh Greenstein or whatever his name is. Fucking Pete Hegseth over here.
You weren't in the chat.
Yeah, you're leaking group chats to me. I mean, nothing happened.
Hilarious.
I'm just an innocent Trump Elon.
You're Elon here? You're Elon in this situation? No, you were not complicit. No, he was not added to the group chat. I sent him a screenshot. And I was in the red. This is literally how I found out.
I've never been in a group chat in my life.
He was not in this group chat. This is how I found out. I went, they were on Monday morning. They were planning. And at 2 p.m., Lewis goes, "This is my last week on Lewis and Zach show, so I will have a lot more free time." And I threw my phone across the room. Not literally. I was shocked. I was really shocked. And it's interesting because people were speculating. Because when Lewis took a bunch of...
Speculating.
That was a good one. I'll allow it. I'm not going to say it. People were speculating that Lewis was leaving the show, and I thought it was all gossip. I thought it was made up because he took a bunch of episodes off last week, and people were like, is he leaving? Is he leaving the show? And I went, that's stupid. He's been traveling for a week. Who cares? Like, it happens. And it turns out he was. That's why I was shocked when I saw that. It's kind of the same. I mean, I guess read the signs, It's like, it's sort of like when your partner is not talking to you for a week with no explanation, they might not be breaking up with you, but a lot of the time they are. And it's like after Lev and then this, it's like if your person seems less and less on their own show, maybe it means that they're leaving.
I guess. No, he was doing he was in Austin doing stuff.
So it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of looking forward to this week of best of
Yeah.
compilations this week.
I'll say me and Jorge said this to me a while ago, and I remember disagreeing at first, and now I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And so now I want to be a contrarian and disagree with him just to rile him up. But
Okay.
I will agree with him that not all good things have to last forever. You know, we don't have to be the Simpsons.
Yes, I agree. And it's lasted a really long time. Right?
Yeah, and it's not everything has to be the Simpsons, and I just feel like Zach should shine.
I agree.
And I mean,
I feel like people will disagree. I think a lot of people are going to be not happy. But I'm excited for it.
he's just been the only reason is he's just been set up to fail because of Bye Guys. He had the worst co-host on planet Earth. No offense, I'm not saying Ian isn't funny, but he's unreliable.
Yes, so true. Yeah.
So people just assume that when he's been nothing but consistent on Spook Show.
Absolute. Do people think that Zach is inconsistent?
No.
Oh. So why are you like doing PR for his consistency?
I don't know. We're on a
Sure.
recap show. I'm just trying to
Sure.
give
I
commentary.
see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree completely.
This show is PR.
Absolutely.
Puerto Rican.
Yes. Yeah, I think that a lot of people will not. I mean, you know who you are. You're here even though you didn't know that Gas Now was happening right now. Like all timers, you just leave this fucking tab open. They're gonna stick around. I think some people are gonna leave, but I think that more people will come in. I think there's certainly a contingency of people that only come in for Lewis and then immediately dip like on episodes that he's not there. I am not one of those people. I
think with the right preparation, this could be a great show. And the reason why is because those shows were kind of last minute. But
Sure. Yeah, but those people who left didn't even stay on long enough to find that out. You know?
that's true.
For sure. I'm looking forward to where this is going. Zach's Morning Zoo. I think that's brilliant. And
Yeah.
that's going to be showcasing different people in a good way. I think it'll have more sillier elements, which I enjoy.
Look, we're in our Jim and Sam era, but there were some great years of Jim and Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's not in South Carolina. You know, Lewis is still here.
Right.
So this is just you're getting fresh, new content.
Yeah.
There's nothing to complain about.
Absolutely.
Also, being less spread thin also probably will help the content that Lewis is on, like
I
you said.
actually agree completely. And
And-
I was going to talk about, I would love to get him on this show. That was the first thing he said. When he hopped into the meeting on Tuesday, he was like, I want to be more available to be on stuff. The next time something big, I don't want to waste his appearance on this show. I want it to be something big happens on Skanks or Story Wars, something like
Double points. We should actually talk about that
Sure.
next week.
Absolutely. But something on the level of like Dan Soder prank calling the Fox News chick.
Yeah.
Like the next time something big like that happens, I want to get Lewis on here to talk about it.
Sure.
But you can't prepare for that kind of thing. It just has to happen. I was going to move on to another host that's leaving their show this week.
Ooh.
So this is significantly less permanent, but Derek Drescher is stepping away from On the Gate just for a short hiatus. And
Because he's short?
you're taking good swings this episode. I like it.
Oh, I do swing both ways.
No, you don't. I swing both ways.
I mean, like, I keep bumping into stuff. I'm swinging both ways. I'm just bumping into things.
I take back my high five from a second ago. Yeah, this is another one that I found out about a group chat. But this is two leavings, two
Escapes.
two escapes that I
Escape from New
found
York.
out about in group chats that people didn't know I was in. So maybe this is more like the signal leak than you thought it was.
Pete, or Josh Goldblum or whatever his name is.
Yeah. It's definitely not Goldblum.
It's Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. So yeah, because this one was on the gate, and Derek goes, "Hey guys, I have to take a break from the podcast for a little while," and I didn't know why he was leaving. I can even pull this up too. I didn't know why he was leaving. He made it sound so serious, but I gave it like a heart, and he goes, "Nattlesnake, what the fuck are you still doing here?" Hold on, I'll find it.
You are a little.
Here it
chat
is. Here it is.
sneak.
Derek goes, "Fellas, I'm gonna need to stop doing the pod for just a little bit. I can't talk about it right now. I don't keep it as quiet as possible." And so Gio goes, "Hope everything is good, Pop," and I gave it a heart. And Derek goes, "Nattlesnake, what the fuck are you still doing here?" I say, "Fellas," and you respond like waving hand. And I go, "No, you never took me out. I just hope you're doing okay, man." So it turns out he had like a medical situation that he had to tend to. He talked about it a little bit on the show.
Is this? Oh, we will miss you.
Yeah, this
Goodbye.
is going away party.
It's for me.
Derek's going away. He says for a month, but I think he's just quitting the podcast.
No, I don't know if it's going to be a month now. I would say maybe 2 to 4 weeks. I just left the doctor just now.
I thought you were going to say 2 to 4 months, and I'm like, motherfucker.
No, I mean, I could see it being a month.
I'm like, yo, Derek, what are you doing every Monday from now on?
Well,
you're the only other comedian that I know has a record.
The only thing I want to make sure of, so it's 2 infections, one in the liver, one in the stomach, and then I had some inflammation of some lining or some shit.
Right.
So that would rule out the scariest thing.
AIDS.
I was fucking. I was like, I got the monster, dog. She told me to go get blood work done. She saw something in me that she wanted to check, and I freaked out and left. And then I just got sick. So it wasn't what I thought it was. It's just infections. But they said that the shit can become chronic. So I need to like take time to like adjust my lifestyle.
And this is something that I didn't know, which is that like, I don't know, after doing drugs for a long time, it can, like that, the effects of that can hit you later. Well, you'd think it would show up immediately, you know? Like you do drugs, you get sickly. Like I would assume.
It shows up immediately. It shows up later. It shows up in between. It just kind of shows up.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but he's been clean for a long time, and he's like for real clean in a way that Gio is not. Gio does plenty of other drugs.
Yeah.
Just not the ones that, you know, put him in jail. But just kidding. You know, the ones that he was doing when he was in jail. But yeah, and it starts the episode with Jorge making the background "We'll miss you" or whatever.
I will remember you.
Dave Temple was on this one, so it was a good vibe with the 3 of those guys.
Dave Temple.
Which one?
About using life insurance to get a free medical screening.
You know what you can do?
I'm gonna go for a cock screen.
You know what you can do that makes it free? Apply for life insurance. If you apply for life insurance over $250,000,
yeah, but then I'm gonna have to pay life insurance.
Yeah, but it ain't that much.
Just don't take it. Yeah. Don't take it.
Just apply.
After they send you to the doctor.
Yeah, that's a part of the application. Is they'll send a medical examiner to your crib to do a full scan on you. And then they'll be like, all right, you was approved, or that you healthy, or you're rated because of X, Y, and Z. Do you want the policy? And you're like, no.
Yeah, just be like, nah, I'm good.
And they don't charge you for the screening afterwards?
No,
Be like,
no.
if you don't
I used to work at MetLife. They're a $6 billion company. They're paying for the screening to protect themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually think that's pretty brilliant.
I think that's fraud.
It's not fraud if you actually get the life insurance.
But if you don't.
I don't think it's fraud if you were thinking about it, but then they could still deny you, you know? I don't know if they do that. I actually don't know anything about life insurance.
Why can't we do that with taxes?
What, you sign up for a tax guy and get their stuff and then leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
CPA, which stands for...
No, because there's no situation in which a tax person would assess your taxes and go, "You're too far gone, I can't work with you." Which is how it works in health insurance. They screen you to know what your pre-existing conditions are for their sake.
My pre-existing condition is poor.
It's pretty good. But yeah, I love anything that Dave Temple's on, so that was a good one. But I'm glad to hear that Derek's only going to be gone for, according to him, at max a month. So I'm not, I hope he has a speedy recovery.
Bless.
Bless up. Praying hands.
We should start a GoFundMe.
For what? For his medical bills?
For his tits.
Oh yeah, to build them up. Yeah.
That's why Lewis is quitting LAZ. By the way, he didn't want to pay for Shannon's tits.
Oh shit! I thought you were gonna say he was getting gender transition surgery.
No, he just realized that the bill was up. It was time.
It was due.
Total bitch. Clip this.
Send it to him. He's gonna see this. Yeah, that's all I had on the gate. Do you have any life hacks like that?
We've done this 80 trillion times. My life hack is do an Ally Mae. Get banned from the bridges and tolls. Literally,
jump as many turnstiles and drive through as many toll booths as possible without paying until they catch up to you.
They can't stop all of us.
Yeah, agreed. Mine is always getting a second refill before you leave from like a Chipotle. I did that yesterday. I topped myself off before I left.
Yeah, you did. You topped yourself off.
Fuck you. What do we have left? If we're already 46 minutes in, so if there's a lot to go off of from Skanks, we can skip Dark Holes. But definitely check out Dark Holes this week. Trey's been crushing it.
We should also quickly, if there's one show I'd rather review than Dark Holes, it's HSR from last week, the Nut is Life saga.
Yeah,
it was brilliant. But so we had behind the scenes. We recorded this episode, and I go outside, or maybe it was right before we went to record. KP Burke is out there, and he's like, "Hey man, check out this koozie." And he was like, I'm going to give this to Fega on the show. Oh. And I'm like, oh, Stanley's going to hate that. You have to do that bit.
Donut is life. That's from Jorge's episode where he ate all the donuts.
Nut is life, baby.
It's been going on a long time.
And I've never heard him say it. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure
I've heard Stanley say it.
I've only heard Stanley say it maybe parroting Fega. But like
maybe. I only hear it on the show and I can't tell what's a parody anymore. Keep going.
You don't know that I'm doing a bit?
Keep going.
You have to play the bit.
I don't watch HSR regularly. Usually they're recording when we're in here because Mike can't manage to roll in here before 7 o'clock.
Mike can't manage to do anything.
That's not true.
He can't manage his time.
That's true.
No, but I mean the callbacks were brilliant. You just if there's any not Louis J. Gomez podcast you watch this week, make it HSR and watch the Nut is Life episode because
with KP.
It's
and
brilliant.
even from today as we're recording it, that's last week's episode. This week they did a pre-record. I mean, just kidding. HSR is always live on Thursday nights.
And the phone lines are slammed.
They're slammed.
And Mike Harrington will be a notary next week.
Next week, yeah. But he's got bigger fish to fry right now. He had to make not a notary. What did Tim become this week?
Oh,
an officiant.
A referee?
A referee.
I
Tim
called it a referee.
became a referee for
and I thought
a wedding.
That was a good joke by me. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So Legion of Skanks, they talked about the entire wedding, and there were not two better guests in the world. I mean, hypothetically, there might have been.
Besides Kim, but Kim was perfect.
If it was like Kim and Fega maybe who is there.
Sure.
But Colum is the next best person since he's getting married in June.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that soon.
And he's such a close family member at this point in the whole circle of friends.
Yeah.
It was so ball busty and perfect.
Yeah. Should we talk about our experience of the wedding first and then get into the episode?
I figured we would weave.
Okay, we can weave.
You want to weave.
Mike almost didn't go, and they didn't know until the last minute when Harrington had texted me, Tom, and Paco to confirm us. And I go, I'm coming, I'm bringing Mike too. And he goes, oh shit, we didn't think Mike could come.
I didn't think so either, because of the family event that I had brought her to was supposed to be on a Saturday.
Right.
Chip and putt equals good.
Chip and putt equals good, right. That's something that no one understands.
It's my dad being passive aggressive.
Yes, but so we did go to it. I was kind of a piece of shit on the way there. I thank you for tolerating me. The direction said that they were going to be an hour 5, and it ended up being like an hour 50 to get to their house. It was unreal.
But was I not correct in saying that if I was driving, I would also be that mad?
Yes, you absolutely, that's so true. I thought you were going to mention what you said to me on the way there. You're like, everyone was so late last year.
Yes.
And we were certainly not the first people there, but we were also not the last.
We were pretty early.
Yeah, the Butterleys got there after us, and Chris and his girlfriend also got there after us.
Tom and Chuck and Kim were the only ones there when we got there.
Sure. And Alex's family. So it was, yes.
Yeah, but they live there.
Stop playing with the mute button.
They live there.
They live there. They don't all live there.
They all live in, look, they're Italian, so they live in one of the 3 bays of New York City. Bayside, Bay Ridge, or Bay of Pigs. I mean, it blew my mind.
Okay.
I've been waiting to use that joke for weeks.
Isn't Bay of Pigs not Italian? Am I stupid? Cuba. Why Bay of Pigs? What's the connection there?
JFK.
Oh,
and the mafia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. I'm stupid. I don't know enough about history for that. Yeah, I had been to this house a couple years ago for Alex's 30th. So I'd been to this house before. It's very nice. It's very beautiful. We hung out in the backyard. I blew a lot of bubbles, and Aura was loving it. And she was living her birthday to the fullest.
You were the best at that.
Thank you. There was a girl that I handed it off to that I was relieved to hand it off to.
You seem to have an autistic calling to blowing bubbles.
It was great. It was fantastic. And then it got a little windy and I got a little worse at it, but Aura was liking it. It was great. I wore my cowboy boots, which I was very happy about because it was it's not my first rodeo themed.
Second
birthday party. So I'm glad because everyone was way more on theme than I was. So I'm glad I wore my cowboy boots. I realized that you putting on the jacket that I lent you made you more on theme because I gave him like a fleece, like checkered jacket thing.
Let's talk about it because I got trashed for this fairly, but it felt like I was standing at the cellar table for this one.
So what? Tell it in your own words.
So, the temperature for that day, it was Saturday the 29th. Mm-hmm. Was supposed to be like 78 degrees.
Yeah.
And I felt like if I was going to wear like a sweater, I was just going to be sweltering and sweating the entire time and gross. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to accidentally leave a hoodie at the house. Because I feel like if I did bring a hoodie and then took it off in the middle of the party, I was definitely going to leave it there and never go back for it.
Right.
Because they don't live close. So I was like, I went balls in. I just went all in. I threw my whole pussy into it, as you would say, and just went t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, you had shorts too. Yeah, I forgot.
And we got there, and it was so cold.
It was overcast and a little windy and a little drizzly.
And cold.
It was
like 48 degrees.
No. It was probably 59, 60 degrees, but with wind and rain.
No, it was way colder than that.
I don't think it was.
If it was colder than that, I wouldn't have worn... I can handle 50s in a t-shirt.
Yeah, but 50s and windy and rainy. You sound like Tom right now.
It was at least 36 degrees.
So, no one cares. We're...
But because it was so cold, Natalie had...
yes, please, sorry.
A flannel jacket?
Yeah.
Because it was fuzzy on the inside?
Yeah, it was like a fleece lined... On the outside, it was like blue flannel, but on the inside, it was like fleece.
At least 2 times too big for me.
It was my dad's jacket that was a little too small for him, so he gave it to me, and I leave it in my car for emergencies, and this was the perfect emergency.
And it almost...
you can wear it. It's not a woman's jacket.
It almost went down to my knees.
That's not true.
But I did look like a woman.
Oh, is that why they were making fun of you?
No, but it was, I don't know.
It just looked so big on you.
They were making fun of, it just looked goofy.
Yeah, it was a little goofy, yes.
Yeah, it looked like a girl in her boyfriend's t-shirt.
Yeah. The guy at a wedding takes his jacket off and puts it around you.
That's how it felt.
Yeah.
It
So
was a little demasculating.
So
in Damascus.
there were a bunch of hors d'oeuvres. It was an Italian hosted party, so the food was banging, and there was a bunch of food there, and I filled up on cheese and meats. We hung out with the Butterleys a lot. That was awesome. The older Butterley kids kept us company, and they're both fantastic. And Jorge and his girlfriend were there.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Jorge was a bad influence, we found out.
Why is that?
Well, I was projecting the entire time because I had drank at this party. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I decided that I was going to them deflect my shame, my unwarranted shame of that, and deflect it by bullying Jorge and calling him a bad influence. And then that started us bullying Jorge by calling him a bad influence.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a good bit.
That was fun. That was a good bit.
I had never met Chris Vega's girlfriend. That was
Me
very
either.
Nice.
She was great.
Apparently I did at the fucking the Armored MMA event, but I don't remember.
I had distinctly not met her, and I was at times where we were both kind of standing awkwardly. I would make a point to make conversation.
Very nice woman.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
And funny.
Corinne was there campaigning. She had a clipboard, and she gave it to Chris's girlfriend to because she must have been asking Corinne about stuff.
Uh-huh.
And she pulled out a clipboard and was like, here, read this, sign this. I don't know what it was, but it was very funny to me that I was like, you just carry that around? She's like, yeah, you got to be prepared at all times. Yeah. The food was really good. It was like catered Italian food. There was a lot of vodka sauce and meats, various meats. I didn't get any chicken, and I'm disappointed.
It was so good, both. But
I filled up on little salamis. It's fine.
Let's get into Mafia.
Oh yeah,
the big thing that happened.
So yeah, the biggest thing that happened at this event was what happened during Mafia and nothing else. So
by the way, I'll preface this by saying I was so relieved, so incredibly relieved that for once in my life there was an event that I had attended with all of these people in this Skanks world.
I know what you're gonna
where
say.
I did not make a mistake that needed to be brought up on the show. I just did it. I flew under the radar completely.
You flew right under the
and that
radar.
felt great.
Everyone give it up for Mike. He didn't say anything that had to be brought up on Skanks.
There was 3 other people.
You did not do anything clumsy.
There were 3 other people that were distinctly brought up on Skanks for their behavior.
Besides Paco, who were the other 2? And we'll get into it.
Butterly and Tom.
Okay, great.
Tom is very minor.
Halfway through, I hear Alex pull some of us aside, and she goes, can you guys gather the kids upstairs for Mafia while we prepare for the talent show? And I thought that was weird. Also, the kids were us. It was us plus the kids, but it was mostly us from GaS. It was like, hey, can you get the non-family out of the room and the actual children while we prepare outside? So it takes forever to get everyone outside. It was like us and the Butterly kids and Paco and Tom and some actual kids. And there was that guy with his daughter, and he was cool. We played Mafia for a while. I had no idea what the deal was with the talent show. I watched it happen. So I'm incredibly excited to set the record straight here.
Before they made a great joke on Skanks, which is exactly what happened too, where they were like, you can't call it Mafia in Italian house, and Big J goes, no, we call it Yakuza.
No, actually what Paco did brilliantly, because there were also children there, he was like, we're getting ready for this birthday party. We look into the room and we see that 2 bites have been taken out of the cake. So we have to figure out who the 2 people that ate the cake were.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was cute.
Cake eater. But, I mean, Yakuza killed me.
Yakuza's really funny. That's really good.
Well, there's no such thing as a Mafia.
So, while we're playing, Paco is hosting. Paco is sitting in a folding chair in front of a lamp, a floor lamp, with this ceramic vase head, lampshade. I watch it happen. And also, earlier in the day, Chris's girlfriend was like, "Did you know that this house is haunted?" Do you remember that?
No.
She came up to me and, or she didn't come up to me. We were all sitting at the table. She goes, "Alex told me that this house is haunted. Did you know that?"
Oh, okay.
I go, "No," and I like don't know if I buy it. But she goes, "Yeah, apparently you can hear like footsteps when you're standing upstairs, even though there's no like third level." And I go, "Interesting. I didn't know that, but I'll like keep an ear out for it." And then I swear to God, this lamp moved by itself. It knocked itself over. I'm kidding. Probably the leg of Paco's folding chair knocked it over. Paco was not roughhousing. It happened out of nowhere. I watched it. It happened in slow motion. This light hovered, rotating in the air. I go, "Paco, watch out. It falls on him."
A green light had a green smoke
An
had appeared
orb.
around it, and it raised up above the ground and then smashed like it just got hit in a rustling move.
Yeah, so it rotates. I go, "Watch out." He catches it, but the shade is not connected to the stand. So the stand is standing, and the shade flies off.
The shade is shading.
It shades. It's throwing shade, and it crashes on the ground. Crazy. I still have a cut on my hand. There's a distinct cut on my hand. I cut the shit out of my hand cleaning up glass. And Alex's dad, I assume, gave me a broom and a scooper. And he was like not happy that I was the one taking charge of this, I think. Because at first we were sweeping and it was giant chunks of glass. And I was like, we got to get rid of the big ones first. So I'm handing them to Tom, touching big broken pieces of glass with my hands, and I don't think he liked that, and he was right for that. And then I like sit down later, catch my breath, they've already cleaned it up, and I realize that I'm bleeding and there's like blood all over me.
So while this is happening, while they're just playing Mafia, me, Chris Vega, and I don't remember who else was there, but we were just kind of like nibbling on the desserts and we weren't supposed to be. We were just like trying them because they looked really
Everyone
good.
was outside.
There were like cannolis and stuff, and they just looked really good. And this is like a catered event, so you're supposed to wait for them to like signal to you that you're supposed to have them.
Yeah,
We were just
also
kind of, like,
80% of the party is outside, and you guys just happened to be there. And there was going to be no dessert left by the time they announced that you could eat it if you guys kept going at it.
And so we were eating, and then the thing happened, and Natalie had like her hand started bleeding, and we're like, "Oh," and because Natalie had like told on us, to the caterers.
I go, "We're not supposed to be eating these yet, right?" And she goes, "No, you're not supposed to be eating."
And we were like, "What the hell?" And then her hand starts bleeding, and we're like, "Ah, snitches get stitches."
It was pretty good. So we go downstairs. There are rows. Can I tell this from my perspective first, so then you can tell it from your perspective? We go downstairs. There's about 50 classy folding chairs, like wooden ones, lined up outside. It's a little drizzly, and people are like keeping them dry, you know, pointing in rows toward the back of the yard with an aisle down the middle, right? And I go, that seems like a lot of fanfare for a talent show. I haven't quite put it together yet. And then I look into the room where, you know, Aura went to take a nap earlier that day, like the room where they're using as their like close family room to get ready, right? And I look in there, and I think both Alex and Harrington are in there, and Tim's in there, and Tim's fully in a suit. And I go, oh, I know what's going on here. I put it together in that moment. I saw Tim in a suit. I went, there's only one reason I can think of that Tim would be in a suit. And I look at everyone, and everyone's very nervous, and Kim's nervous, and Alex is nervous. And I go, oh, I know exactly what's going on here.
He's
and so
hosting.
we get out there, we start seating people, and I go up to Chris. I go, am I stupid because I didn't know? Am I just the last to get the scoop? He goes, I only know because Harrington told me like on the show this week, or like he told me a couple months ago, but we talked about it on the show this week, but it hasn't come out until next week. And I go up to you. I go, do you know what's going on? And you're like, it's a talent show. I don't know what you're talking about. So I want you to lead in. What was your perception of this?
I sat down, and there they're like, okay, everyone gather your places and stuff like that, and everyone's just sitting down, and you're like, do you know what's going on? And I'm like, a talent show, and you're like, you're fucking with me. You actually know, and you're just fucking with me.
I just assume that everyone is
main character.
No, I assume that I'm out of the loop. Oh, wait, you seemed like someone who would know.
No.
And
I'm
also,
blind.
if you knew, I think you would keep it a secret from me until it's revealed. I think you would want to keep the
Yeah,
ruse
it's
going.
for the bit.
Exactly.
Chris Vega started Nutta's life, and that's what he said after he told you that he knew about the wedding. He said, yeah, they are getting married in Nutta's life.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, I literally until like I put it together seconds before the ceremony started.
Yes. Yeah. It was very sweet. Tim is the perfect person that you could possibly chosen.
Like if there was organ music, that's when I would have been cued off.
Right, exactly. It was awesome. It was very brief. Alex and Mike each gave some vows of their own. There was a brief moment where Harrington thought that he had deleted the note on his phone with his vows on it, and it's on camera, and it's pretty funny.
Vega said he pulled it up faster than anything on HSR.
Yeah, agreed. And then Mike's dad told a story, or gave a little speech, and Alex's mom gave a little speech, and it was very sweet, and we all got champagne, and we toasted, and it was very cute and very nice. I want to hear about the two other people that had embarrassing outbursts, or whatever the fuck you're going to talk about.
Well, first, apparently, according to Harrington, that's the story that his dad told during his speech just wasn't true. It just never happened.
He told a couple stories, and one I had heard Mike tell me before about stealing his dad's car when he was like 15, and a cop pulled up and went, your lights are out, and he went to hit the lights and hit the windshield wipers. I go, that's a true story. You've told me that. He goes, oh no, the one that my dad told about being at dinner with Alex and then she leaves the table, and he goes, so what do you think? Is she the one? He goes, that never happened.
It's a ChatGPT story.
Yeah. But I wonder if Mike's dad actually remembers that happening incorrectly, or if he just completely made it up.
Yeah. He somehow still says, this is only for the Big J fans out there. He somehow still says the story Big J's it's not even worth it. It's like the story that Big J's dad tells about how he took his pants off layaway once.
That's funny.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. I hate myself.
Don't hate yourself as much as I've hated myself this episode. What did Tom do first?
It was more like they were like, Tom, even though Tom knew, he got what Alex put it best, he got wedding drunk for a 2-year-old's birthday party.
He did get wedding drunk for a 2-year-old's birthday party. Have you seen, I don't know if this is viral or if it's just that Instagram has been showing it to me, and take a drink for me referencing something from Instagram. It goes, Mexicans getting ready for a 1-year-old boy's birthday party, and it's someone hosing down like a giant truck full of Coronas with ice. That's Tom getting ready for this 2-year-old's birthday party. It wasn't worth it.
But I had a good joke in there where you said take a drink every time I reference Instagram, and I said Tom will.
Yes, he will. He was doing that anyway. And then who was the third person again?
Butterly, because, and I'm surprised you haven't heard. This hasn't gotten back to you yet, but so apparently Alex's family was not too happy
with the speech about mushrooms,
about the amount of drugs that were referenced.
Is there anything else you want to get into? That's the whole thing about Tim, is that he mentioned mushrooms too many times in his speech.
Yeah, that it was just a little too loose for their very Catholic family.
Sure.
Yeah, nothing crazy happened, but I will say something funny. Apparently, Mary Jo had offered to watch Aura. While so Alex and Harrington could have like the night to spend together after their wedding, and apparently somehow Aura fell asleep on a scale.
A scale?
In their bathroom.
Oh, like a bathroom scale? That's funny.
And so they were like, yeah, Tim was weighing it, weighing the baby like it was drugs. They made a lot of good jokes about the baby on the scale too. But yeah, it was very funny. And then so on Skanks, they hooked Alex and Harrington up to the lie detector test. They put the husband and wife up to the test. And all was revealed. A lot was revealed.
Really? I can't imagine there's much that has to be revealed that neither of them has ever said on the podcast before.
Well, you'll see.
Question number 1, you asked Mike Harrington, do you love Alex more than you've ever loved any woman? Mike Harrington said yes.
Oh, man.
The lie detector test determined he was telling the truth.
Of course he was. Anyone who's ever met Mike knows that that's true.
Mike.
We kept going. Me and
fuck that.
Me and Harrington would sit in the corner. Or me and Pac were sitting next to each other for the entire show. We would go, good answer, good answer.
And anybody
like we were on a game show.
World.
But to be fair, I think about it, Mike's mom.
Like Family
fucking
Feud.
chick.
Yeah, good answer.
Well, obviously.
Anything for nurturing, Lewis.
That's a good question. But it can't be in either one.
I've, in the last week, kicked my mom out of the house because she was annoying the fuck out of Alex. So, yes, I'm taking Alex.
Wow, that's weird. All right, next question.
I get that.
Question number 2, you asked Mike Harrington, do you have a secret kink your spouse doesn't know
It's a
about?
good one.
Oh, fuck.
After a bit of a pause, he said no.
A bit of a pause.
The lie detector test determined he's telling a lie.
Whoa!
Jay Harrington. It's guys. It's definitely guys.
Pedo.
Mike,
Mike's
just
like
tell her
this.
what you want and she'll try her best.
She already has a flat chest.
Hey, Mike, I heard you like him young. And it's probably a minor.
It's probably a bra size.
Damn, you
Alex
sick
is so
fuck.
flat.
Do you want any comment? What do you think it could be, Mike?
I couldn't tell you. I feel like I've been pretty open about asking you for whatever I want. What the fuck have you asked for, you sicko? Jay, I'm not on the lie detector anymore. I don't have to answer your question.
Hell yeah!
What is
Alex is waving him off the mic.
Alex, play the trombone while I finger my ass. Oh my God.
Wow. Okay.
Alex said I would do
question
that for
number 3.
him.
Mike's sweating now. Now Mike's getting nervous.
Pedophile.
You fucking sick fucking pet.
I think we all have some uncovered kinks, okay?
Kid fucker Mike.
Oh, fuck.
All right, question 3.
You sick piece of shit. Good.
You asked him, have you ever suspected one of the Legion of Skanks was into Alex?
Ooh.
He said yes, and the lie detector test determined he's telling the truth.
Of course.
Ah!
We all answered yes.
I'm not into your wife, dude. I know you.
I knew it was gonna be Lewis.
Mind, bro.
I just don't trust any of the 3 of you. I mean, just by law of large numbers. No, law of large numbers. One of the 3 of you.
I don't trust any of you just by.
Very tired.
Wait, who do you think that you think I'm into Alex?
I just
I think that it's
Can I
Lewis.
tell you what I think
I
it
think that
is?
he thinks
right, I
Lewis.
am.
Goddamn right.
Ugly bitch.
He
And
is
she'll be coming home with.
I know what
so
she's gonna
into
say.
Alex, he couldn't fathom you guys not
Being into her. I knew what she was gonna say, and I think she's right.
Good answer.
Kim saved your ass, you fucking sick pedophile fuck. You child fucking
And I
freak.
found child porn on his computer one day.
Question number 4.
Question 4, you said, do you see yourself staying with Alex the rest of your life?
Mike, come on, dude.
Mike said yes.
Come on.
But the lie detector test determined he was telling the truth.
Yeah, of course he is. Everyone knows that.
Good answer.
The lie detector test. I like that. That was good. All right.
Good job, G. Mike.
All right, Harrington, we're still sending you to Italy. Network quality.
All right.
Now
and
let's see if you're going alone.
the final question, you asked him, have you jerked off while driving on the highway?
It's a great
Mike
one.
Harrington said yes, and he is telling the truth.
Yeah.
What a waste of a question, Kim.
I believe that any man who can drive.
Not the baby.
Alex, can you just tell how good the lie detector test is, though? It's always right on.
It's always
I mean,
right.
he admitted it. Obviously, it's not a lie. He wouldn't have admitted it if it wasn't true. And also, impressive driving.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or maybe not. Maybe it was almost a close call.
One more time for Mike Harrington, guys. Give it up for him.
I have both hands. I can clap.
He passed 4 out of 5. That's pretty good. I say that's still continue to be married
Alex
to
is
this
like,
guy.
what else
Oh,
do
the
I
lie
have
was
to
the
do to this
king.
hairy asshole that I haven't done?
Oh no.
Now we have Alex's turn for our results.
I
What a
would
show.
bet that
You
he
guys have fun
wasn't
time today?
sure about the kink, and
Great
that's
show.
why it came
Great
out
show.
as a
Classic
lie.
episode.
Incredible show.
Classic
No, because
episode.
it'll say
If
undetermined.
you guys are having fun,
That's
Venmo
true.
Alex Scarlato at Kim Congdon, dude.
It's pretty good. I like that. That's good.
All right, the first question you asked Alex, you said, have you thought about any of the Legion of Skanks in a sexual way?
Ooh.
Alex.
Alex said no, and the lie detector was undetermined.
Divorce.
Incredible. Incredible.
What a slut. What a slut.
Harrington, leave her.
What a slut. Harrington, leave her right now.
Kim's
dude.
also fist
She's
bumping.
so funny. For the streets.
Undetermined.
Didn't say that I lied.
Oh, you're
No, it says.
Easy.
It might
I
as
don't know,
well
maybe you
have.
have.
I think it said you
wait,
don't
this
even
is
know
great.
if you lied. That means Alex was like pushing a fucking safety pin into her thigh.
Sometimes,
No, after that.
She had a rock in her shoe.
No.
in Alex's defense, I've heard that sometimes when you get raped, you still come.
It's true. It's not their fault either.
That's true, actually.
It's not your fault, dude. That's
Detective
a
Benson will
bodily
tell you.
function
It's a
that
bodily
happens
function.
naturally.
Harrington, see if
Detective Finn Tutuola and Detective Benson will tell you.
This, that
Thank you so
that one's
much,
going to
Jay.
cause a problem later on tonight.
You need an annulment, bro.
That's going to actually cause a problem.
That's fucked
You think you did?
I don't think that's a problem.
Mike's
Can
going to have to do he's like the laughing
Alex,
like he's
do
like,
you
which
have an
one is it?
explanation, or would you like me to take
Which
over?
one is it? Is funny.
Take over, Kimmy.
I think that she has been working with the Legion of Skanks for so long and heard so many sexual stories of
That
you
she
guys.
fantasized about us regularly.
She's
just jams her fingers into her.
Nice help, Kim.
She's definitely.
Oh, Jay got out of the car for that Jamaican. Yeah.
You guys
was a sword fighting. Wow.
You guys just make her laugh so much that she can't help but find you attractive.
Vaccines are
That's funny.
Build your own fucking roots.
I'd like to think
I'm
she
gonna-
thinks about all of us at the same time.
Yes. Plug out every hole.
I'm gonna say.
It's probably all of us in one session. You don't have to over-explain, Kim. She just blasts to all three of us at
Kim.
once, dude. Like Manny Moe and
I get
Jack.
what Kim's
That's how she
saying,
lost the
though.
most weight. She was just moving so much.
I forget if they
dude.
say it during this part or
Wow,
not.
Alex, I
But
didn't realize you were such a pig.
What is?
Alex has already failed as
I
many
forgot
questions
what-
as Mike did as an
what
entire
part of
pause
it?
We're gonna have to run
No.
the lie detector to
I
find
just
out.
forgot what part it is,
It's
but
on
they
the
go
rocks.
like undetermined, so she can't even figure out which
Stop
skank she
negotiating
likes.
with Mike. What are you
What's
doing?
going on?
Is it
she just
Tom?
passed him a $20 bill.
Please
She goes,
stop.
"I'll suck your-
whatever the
And
next
that's
thing
like
says,
triple
just-
his yearly salary.
I'll suck
So
your dick.
Hey, make this go good for me, huh?
All right, question 2. We asked, have you looked at Mike's phone without his permission?
Ooh.
You said yes, and the lie detector test determined you were telling the truth.
Okay.
About fucking time.
fucking duh.
About time she told the truth.
That's the only.
See, I
way
would
I've never done that to you. I don't know your
The
code.
first questions, I
Yeah.
would have said I was so nervous.
But we haven't been
for
together
this
as
to
long
begin
as they
with.
have.
That's why they had to keep on doing it. It's like
2
that's
weeks.
probably why it was undetermined.
If I didn't
come
look at
up as a
Lewis's
lie,
phone, we
dude.
would have been having a lie detector at our
I have to put
wedding.
an eye
It
drop
was
there.
super fun. Why
Okay.
don't you give her an excuse out of instead making it that she wants to suck all
She
three
does
of our
want to
dicks, dude?
suck and fuck us at the
That's
same
way
time.
funnier.
She was looking in his phone for your guys' number.
That is a good joke.
If I
I'm
could
glad
just
I
text
caught
Jay
it.
as Mike, maybe he'll send a dick pic.
That is a great joke.
Maybe.
Question number 3.
Question 3, are you keeping a secret from Mike you think would hurt him?
Ooh.
It's a good
You
question.
said no.
Come on.
The lie detector test determined she was telling the truth.
Yeah.
They're honest, dude.
I don't even want the funny. I want the relationship to last.
No, fuck that. Let's go funny. I want to see some
Question
pain.
4, have you lied to your husband about your body count?
Oh.
Alex
I don't
said
think
no.
that. I don't think she did.
And the lie detector test determined she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're very honest and healthy with each other, and they love each other.
I knew it.
Last question.
And then finally, have you ever thought about someone else while having sex with your husband?
The Legion of Skanks.
All 3 of them.
She just saw a black baby in her head.
The lie
That's
detector
incredible.
test also found that undetermined.
Both of those are things that I think I would struggle with. Also, thank you for telling me to go back for that joke. That's brilliant.
What a slut! What a slut! Damn, Mike. Oh my God, she thinks
so
of me and
unfair,
David
dude.
Lewis's
Wow.
face.
Harrington was
That's
so
pretty unfair.
honest.
So was I.
Okay. Yeah.
Undetermined is
Okay, there was one
Undetermined
thing.
is-
There was one thing about
say
that
Relax,
question. There
relax.
was one thing
the big blood.
about that question that gave me the thing that Kim was saying, where I was like, "Oh shit, that one might be weird," but it also sounds bad to say. But like,
What? There's
okay,
too many S's.
so
What the
for
fuck?
Women
For
love
like,
lying. Look how
for
they
like
lie.
95% of every time me and Mike are having sex,
You think about him, and then 5% of the time,
Her brain is elsewhere.
completely
Yeah.
locked in on Dave Smith. One out of every 20 times, my mind is like, "Ooh, Jay's eating that pussy so good."
Taxation is theft.
Say you're a
What'd you say?
libertarian.
I do 19 for him, 1 for me. That's the way it is.
One out of every 20 times you think about another man.
I think any woman in this room could identify.
I know
with
what she's
this,
gonna
okay?
say, and she's right.
For 95,
Hold on, a guy just hit his
By the way,
girlfriend.
look at your husband's face. Look at his face right now. He's hurt.
Hey,
No, this is. I know what she's.
letting me speak.
hey, ladies, you want to break your man's heart without being hooked up to a lie detector test, or you want to just lie to all of us?
Okay, so the two things, while we're paused here, because then we can end on the explanation.
Okay.
So the two other little bombshells that I had for you were, number one, I was supposed to be in these festivities here.
At the table, or like back by the camera by the computer. With
I
them?
was supposed to be involved in the festivities.
Okay.
Me and Paco were supposed to host their bachelor party.
Okay.
And strip dance.
Okay.
On Mike and Alex.
Okay.
And Mike wasn't comfortable with it, so the bit didn't end up happening. But I was fully prepared to strip.
Like you did at the talent show last year.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I think that's crazy that you were like, no, I can't run across Story Wars in a gimp mask, but I actually will get naked on top of Harrington.
You don't get it.
No, I don't.
I don't need to explain myself either.
Okay. Okay, what was
I'm
the
not
other?
like Alex.
What was the other
on the
thing?
stand.
I know what Alex is gonna say, and she's right. What was the other thing?
So there's actually two other things. I'm sure you heard referenced here, but the Legion of Skanks are paying for Alex and Harrington to go to the Amalfi Coast.
Yes.
You knew about this.
I heard about it. Oh, Lewis said it at the meeting on Tuesday. I don't know if you were there for that part of the meeting, but Lewis said at the meeting on Tuesday, he goes, the Skanks are paying for their honeymoon and they're milking us for Italy.
Yeah.
And I go, and everyone loved it. Everyone at the meeting was like, yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Whose idea was, I imagine it was Lewis's idea, but I think that it's funny and interesting.
Italy was
and cool.
not the Skanks' idea.
No, but the idea to offer to pay
Yeah.
for it. Yeah, completely. That's awesome.
So if you had the Legion of Skanks pay for your honeymoon, where would it be?
I don't need to. Here's the thing. I don't need to milk them for a faraway, extravagant
This
trip.
is more of just like, where would you go if you didn't have expenses to worry about? That's more the question I was going for. If you go anywhere without the...
I don't know.
Portugal? Are we thinking like South America? Are we thinking Hawaii?
No, my brain said Japan, actually.
Japan?
Yeah, I think Japan's really interesting and culturally. And
For a honeymoon?
No, that's what I'm saying is like my brain
like
went,
a
where's the
trip.
two places I wanted to go? Japan and like the Grand Canyon. Like
the problem is with
I don't go for relaxing trips ever. I just like to wander.
Yeah, but so the difference between a honeymoon is you're supposed to be relaxing instead of like traveling
Right.
and like exploring a city. Usually when you're on your honeymoon, you're just kind of hanging out, right?
Yeah, I agree, but then I also wouldn't pick Italy.
So you kind of want like a nice backdrop. Well, the Amalfi Coast is just kind of like a beach.
Yeah.
And then you go somewhere Italian and nice for dinner. Like they're not going to Rome.
No, I guess you're right.
You know what I mean? They're going to the coast.
Yeah, maybe the what are those islands off of Portugal called? Hold on.
The Ivory Coast.
No. The Azores.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pick that.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, Lewis kind of convinced me with Greece.
Greece is probably really beautiful.
I could
You're
be
right.
convinced to do Greece.
Yeah, I agree.
But also, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii.
I have no desire to go to Hawaii. They don't want my ass there. They can't stop telling people not to visit it.
Really?
It would just make me so uncomfortable. It's like, wow, everyone who lives here wishes you weren't there.
I don't think that's true.
It's 100% true. They keep putting out messages being like, please stop visiting Hawaii. You're using up all of our natural resources.
Who says that?
The fucking government in Hawaii. They can't stop telling people. There's like a, hold on. Just believe me. They can't. I'll pull it up on the screen here if you don't believe me. But
I don't, because their economy thrives off of tourism.
Hawaii telling tourists not to come. It's literally the first thing that comes up. Hawaii doesn't want visitors right now or ever. Here's why. People from Hawaii that tell tourists not to come there. Hawaii is asking that no tourists come to Maui. Maybe it's just Maui specifically. Hawaii Talk wants tourists to stay home. Native Hawaiians urge tourists to stay away. I'm not making it up. I'm just reading article titles.
Oh.
It would make me uncomfortable.
What about Mexico?
Certain parts of Mexico I would like to go to. My relatives go to
I think Mexico might
Puerto
be over
Vallarta
Greek.
a lot.
Over Greece for me, I think Mexico might be it.
I agree. And the shorter flight, I imagine.
Yes.
Should we get back to that?
Yeah, sorry.
The screen has not been on us this whole. I just left it paused on the episode.
Well, the last
you made
thing-
me think this was gonna be quick.
Yeah, so the last thing here was they are filming what I can only assume is submissions for Ari's unnamed storytelling show.
Okay.
So they were doing some kind of audition for it.
And that's what were they calling Kim or Column?
And so they decided instead, both of them.
Okay.
So they were supposed to do it at the show upstairs.
Mhm.
But because they didn't want to leave Skanks, what they did was everyone who stuck around after ads just sat in and they performed their stories
Oh,
for
cool.
us, which was so fun.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Columns was amazing. Kim's was great too, but Columns was just very fun. It had a great ending to it.
Hell yeah. Cool. Does that exist anywhere, or that's just an audition?
It's just an audition.
Cool.
It was
Very
just for
cool.
the room.
Neat.
And I just wanted to give you FOMO.
It's working.
Back to it.
No. So when you're all finished coming and you're like, I'm done. I can't go anymore.
I've come
Your
once.
brain kind of checks out, and I hate to use the word like
Little boys.
dissociating, but when you're not into sex anymore,
Your
and
brain
you're like,
is elsewhere.
You're spending that minute being like, should I go longer?
You're
How long
murdering
between-
him inside.
How long between?
Can we get the camera on Mike's face?
Stop
how
explaining it.
long are you supposed to be enjoying sex for?
There was no
There's a
reason.
point where it's done.
She's so right.
Clap if you agree.
You're making this so much worse.
You guys are soulless whores.
She's
all
right.
Of you.
Oh my God.
I'll tell
All
you
of your
what,
pigs.
you're all difficult comes, I bet.
Yeah. you guys are female Legion of Skanks fans. You're pigs
Difficult
to your fathers.
Wow.
All of you.
You don't even think you're supposed to come with a guy. You're tweezers.
Fuck it.
So then I've literally had moments where I'm like,
I wonder what so and so's doing,
sex,
but
and
not
I'm
in a
thinking,
sexual
like,
way.
Jay Gomez.
No.
Gee, Mike, Tom.
Very casually, yes, anybody. And
Anybody
then I go,
else.
And then I go,
Just
Alex,
not Mike.
anybody.
Not in a
No,
weird.
she's
I-
right.
Kim.
Literally anybody will do right now.
Alex.
Literally anybody.
There was a
More
dick
now
in
than
your
ever, you
pussy.
would tackle her.
Tell
off
me
that
right
way.
now that I have
She's destroying your marriage.
She's right.
She stands up, I start eating her
Anything
out
you say
aggressively.
can and will be used against you.
You're being unhinged
Stop
right now.
talking.
You're being unhinged.
This is the worst explanation I've ever
No,
heard.
she's 100% right. And anyone who doesn't support her is a
I've
coward.
never
Every
once
word gets worse.
thought of anything
bullying
about
Kim.
any one of your friends
Kim-
I agree.
while a dick
Kim's-
was in your pussy.
Oh, for sure.
Goddamn right.
Kim's being
I
a good
wouldn't say
friend.
it was a very belly shriveled up dick. But I've disassociated.
You gotta.
Alex had the biggest bomb of all tonight.
Yeah, a good one. It's good enough
I'm
that
glad
that
you
has
watched it.
sold me on watching the rest of it.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to say extra
Even though I
long
have
here.
a spoiler. Yeah, even though I've been spoiled of what the answers are, I want to go back and see how we got there.
Yeah, there's some great jokes in there too. I just wanted to I wanted you to see it just because I felt like we would probably watch this even tomorrow morning if we were hanging out or something, so why
Yeah.
not make content out of it? It was just you were like reacting to it.
Yeah. No, I agree with Alex entirely, and anyone who disagrees is a coward. And lying.
I even said to her afterwards, I was like, not for nothing, this is also a little bit a shameful confession, but I actually sometimes I'm kind of difficult a difficult receiver of head because
I was gonna say that also. 'Cause your mind's elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm just very ADHD.
That's literally the example I was gonna give.
She was like, "Thanks, that helps."
I might even text her and go, I'm defending the shit out of you on Gas Now right now. Do you think she would appreciate that, or you think she doesn't want to think about it anymore?
No, yeah, that'd be nice.
No, I was going to say, I was like, you've been there where you want to be enjoying the moment, but your brain is elsewhere. And then someone may have wandered in a non-sexual way. You might be like, hey, I wonder who's going to be at the studio later. Could be anything. Yeah,
Could be anything.
No, Alex is completely right. Although you were right to tell me to go back to the joke that Kim made, which is like that's why she checked his phone so that she could text Big J. Maybe he would send a dick pic.
The problem with could be anything is that Alex is raising a 2-year-old right now, so most likely it's Elmo for some reason.
No, most likely
Bluey?
it's is she actually sleeping or is she gonna wake up any minute? Yeah.
But yeah, solid episode all
Solid,
around.
yeah. It has made me want to go back and watch the whole thing. I really mean that.
Yeah, so funny.
I'm sad I wasn't there. I actually have major FOMO that I was not there.
And even after the show ended, they were like, we were just trying to drag this out, like, for content.
Of course. Yeah, I had to go to my autistic brother's show recital on Monday, and I didn't have to go. I wanted to go. Yeah, I missed one autistic
recital.
convention for another. It's similar IQ level in both rooms, I would say. But I didn't have to go. I wanted to go, and I got free laundry from my mom's house out of it. So financially, I needed to be there instead of spending $48 on drinks at the stand. Such is life, and you miss out on stuff because of that sometimes. But yeah,
Family
this was
comes first.
This was fantastic, and thank you for showing me that. And I will defend Alex on this, and anyone who disagrees is a coward, especially a woman. But I believe men too. Like in your case, it's like, yeah, everyone's stressed and has ADHD, not literally, but like people's attention spans are short. It's hard to not wander, you know.
I think we should. I would defend Harrington and say. Sometimes just the idea, like, especially with men for the kinks, it's almost like if I was asked that question too, I would be like, well, what if there's something I don't even know I like yet?
Yeah.
What if that hasn't been unlocked?
Yeah, it's like what
gay.
If you know it's not gay.
We don't know that.
You are fighting it tooth and nail for it to be not true. That's a fact. Stop biting. Stop metamorphosizing.
I'm like chewing on a soaked rag.
Yeah, exactly.
Screaming.
But yes, I even agree with that too, where I'd be like, no, I don't think so.
But who knows?
Exactly.
The future is bright.
Yeah. And I also liked Harrington being like, I'm not hooked up to a lie detector anymore. I don't have to tell you anything. I think that's brilliant too. We should get out of here. I don't know how long this is going to be, but we've been going at it an hour and 45 minutes. Thank you for watching. This has been Gas Digital Now, the Gas Digital wrap-up show. Mike, you're better at plugging than me. You go first.
So if you liked all of this content and you want to see it uncensored and come out immediately, because we wrap this up, but if you don't even... Look, the best plug for the show is that if you don't want to watch us, then you better subscribe so you can get the content immediately so you don't have to listen to the wrap up.
Right.
So
exactly.
Either way, subscribe so you can get all of this stuff right away and be in on the loop as it happens. And the best way to do that is subscribe, become a member of gasdigital.com and use code NOW so that we get credit for it.
A little kickback,
our little extra credit. And you should subscribe to us on YouTube at Gas Digital Now, I believe.
If we hit 1,000, we'll do an AMA and we won't resist any questions.
No, not even one. Not even the one. Big one.
What's the big one?
You'll have to subscribe to find out. Follow the Gas Digital accounts at Gas Digital on Instagram and Twitter to let the bosses know that I'm doing my job. And follow me on Instagram at...
That Blind Mike.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
Natalie DeChico edits on Instagram, DECICCO_edits. Watch my other podcast, That's Hot with me and Sabrina Piper. She's away this week, so probably this week there won't be a new episode, but next week there will be. Oh, actually, there wasn't one this week, but there will be.
Ooh.
And
Spicy.
I think that's it. Natalie-DeChico on Venmo.
Wow.
Mike
She's just going for it.
Mike-Rufo-1 on Venmo, I think.
That's my social security.
This has been cool. Am I forgetting anything?
No, but congratulations, Alex and
Yeah,
Harrington.
congratulations. Good for them.
And we look forward to your happy relationship.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Now we just gotta hang on long
In
enough
sickness
to...
and in health.
We just gotta hang on long enough to get a free trip out of it.
Yeah, a free trip.
To the psych ward.
Oh. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.